All right, we're going live. We got the birds in the background for the moment, and I'm gonna have some sound of fan hitting you. And hopefully everybody's hanging out with me here. You can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Like I said, it's gonna get kind of loud in a minute. And today, I wanted to sort of have a low agenda amount of stuff to do, but there's so many incredible Capone money clips that are in front of me on the table here. I can't wait to show you those. And I also wanted to sort of ping you guys to see if you're checking out the Let's Buy Boots series. See how you guys are enjoying all that. Jonathan Lux, can you hear me, man? How's everything sounding? Can you hear the birds? Nice. We've got the windows open today in the shop. It's pretty nice. And I feel like I haven't been on here as much. My dad came to visit his granddaughter for the first time last week. So it's fun to have him in town. I just dropped him off at the airport. So we're back in business. D'Angelo is here. Nataku is here. What's up, guys? Isaiah, thanks for the audio check. Beautiful day in Chicago. It's really nice here. We had like a tiny bit of rain. Adam from Malaysia. Welcome, Adam. And Mike Cruz is back. Good to see you guys. Hopefully this fan noise isn't too distracting. But if you guys checked out the Let's Buy Boot series, the interviews I started doing here with Brett Klein, I put up part 2 today. And I think the first part I put up last Friday. But I had a blast talking to Brett. And I'm realizing after I posted those videos, I didn't really do a good job explaining what I'm trying to do there. But for Let's Buy Boots, I thought it'd be interesting to show the process of maybe with some additional depth of what the buying process is like for different shoe brands. And we're going to start off with the Alden stuff. So I think I have a interesting amount of my network is interesting to where I can speak to people that know exactly what's going on. And then the end of this process of me finding out perfect sizes, different makeups, different leathers, different soles, things like that, I'm going to buy a pair and try them out and talk about them. I just love the leather and I love the footwear. So I think the Let's Buy series is going to be pretty fun. And I got some other brands I want to work with, but we're going to try to do the Alden stuff first. Yeah, take the baby to the lake today, Nataku. I should. I'm going to be working a bit. And actually, my wife goes back to work this week. So Thursday will be my first. We don't have daycare for 2 of the 3 days a week. So Thursday I'll be full-time dad duty for the first time ever. And what's up from what's up in Canada, Rox? Good to see you. Thanks for coming down from Canada. William. Hey, William from Houston. Glad you made it, William. Yeah, and thanks for checking out the videos, Jonathan, from Brett. And he seems to be quite knowledgeable. I feel like Brett Klein came off very modestly. And I think he knows a lot, but doesn't come off as sort of like a know-it-all kind of guy, which I dig. But the next step here is he sent me an email of 50 different retail stores or something that I have to go through, and we're going to check out all the different Alden makeups, and I'm going to try to find something for myself. And I mentioned in those videos I don't have any black boots or shoes. I do have a pair of black quaddies that are like very, very casual, so I don't wear them very often. They're like moccasins. But I'd like to get myself a pair of black something. And Steve is here. Welcome, Steve. Waveland Avenue. I was on Waveland Avenue last night. We went to the Cubs game with my family, which is pretty cool. It got kind of cold at night though, but it was fun to. We were up in the rooftops at Wrigley yesterday. Israel Koyak. I'm not sure what that means. I know there's stuff going on in Israel, Palestine right now. It's kind of upsetting. So maybe get something there, or you're just trolling me. But what do you guys say we, unless you had any questions about anything, I can flip the camera around. And like I said, I'm looking at 5 Capones right now. They're all really special, 4 of which are things I've never seen before. And there's another Mike that likes to come hang out in the chats here. One of his custom ordered wallets is here, and it's really sweet. Yeah, I've got the quaddies I have black chromics on the top, and they're kind of like chukkas. and they're black laces. Like everything's black on them, and I love that about it. But the soles are this softer, like not what you normally think of as a leather sole on a shoe. It's more of like a old school sort of like moccasin or something, and it's this softer leather on the outsole. That's a leather called Chrome Pack, and it's very, very casual. They're like almost too soft to walk on a lot. They're comfortable for kind of just chilling around the house, but I'm always working. So yeah, Quaddies makes a cool hand sewn mock toe thing. So let's flip this around. We're gonna flip it. Thanks to Taku. Let's flip it around. All right. And I will do my best to read the chat. We're going to make it perhaps not as long as most videos I do. I can get a little long-winded. I'm going to do my best to keep it abbreviated today because we got a lot of stuff to make. You guys are picking up a lot of great wallets. I guess let's start off with the first thing my hand pulls up. This is a Capone money clip with an interesting combination, interesting choice of leathers on the outside here. So this is black, excuse me, hit the camera stand. Tripod. This is black shell cordovan in the center, underneath some raw black, and it's very interesting. It's almost like this raw black has some sort of like iridescence to it, which is really neat. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen a lot of the raw black before, so this is personally fascinating to me. I really like that. And green shell on the inside. You guys are getting funny about the stuff you've seen before, like the Saphir and the key fobs on the table. We'll get to those, but I wanted to gush about the Capones first. There's something also really neat. We did, for this particular customer, asked for us to personalize it with this custom engraving here. So this is a 101 for this customer. And I really there's something about this stamp that we've been using on the right side here. We call this the baby Ashland stamp, which is different from our normal stamp, which has the sort of A circle logo. We are doing the baby Ashland stamp on the Capones like this. There's something about that just gives it this really clean look that I like very much. The black on the outside with the green on the inside is a really cool combo. So I like that one a lot. There's a couple other really neat ones. Check out this guy. So this is personalized for KKM. So we got the I believe this is denim blue on the outside. Sometimes in the light here, I can't see with the light blasting my face, but this might be intense blue or denim blue. Looks like it could be the denim blue here. The intense blue sometimes is a little bit lighter, a little bit more aqua. But this one has this sort of contrasting tan stitching on the outside, which is really neat. And then the inside, check this out. This is the reverse blue shell, which is kind of like the black reverse, but the dye marks are slightly different on the reverse blue. They're, obviously a little bit more blue, but very interesting. Nataku says the Capone is small, so it's better for a small logo. Yeah, this one has the big logo, ironically. I think this must have been requested specifically to have the stamping done like this. But there is something kind of magical about that smaller stamp, the baby Ashland stamp, like on this guy here. And I'm really excited to show you this piece. Isaiah says, my English Tan Dublin belt clip is wearing a beautifully great piece. I'm glad you enjoy it, Isaiah. That was the color choice that I had for the belt clip when I was doing some wear testing on it, and I really enjoyed it. I'm wear testing I guess I'll just show you. I'm wear testing a color 8 shell one right now and trying to not baby it at all. It's sort of accumulating these scratches, which I think is pretty cool. But I'm pretty happy with how the shell is wearing in also. Honestly, you have to be a pretty obsessed with shell to want the shell over the Dublin on this belt clip, because the English Tan Dublin is just awesome. I really like the English Tan Dublin for everything. But where were we? This marbled black shell is super, super cool. And for me in the marbled stuff, I really like when it's very light. I think a lot of people are of an opposing viewpoint to me, where they like it a little bit more subtle, like on the inside of this. You can see where it's a little bit dark and green, but it has this more subtle contrast down to the orange section here. I think people like this more, but for me, I like the really dramatic stuff for the marbled. And this is one of my favorite marbled pieces that I've seen in a while. And the inside too. It's a good contrast of the range of marbled shells. All right, here's the one for Mike, I believe. Check this out. And I'll just give this one a moment. You can listen to the beautiful fan noise here in the shop. Hey, what's up, Austin? It's good to see you, man. So there's a word in the wood world, and I hope I pronounce it correctly, but the word is chatoyant. And what chatoyant is this sort of textured pattern sort of shifts at different angles, and the pattern and texture appear differently in whatever figuring is going on in either the wood or in this case the leather. This one doesn't have as much of it, but see how the color and everything is sort of shifting on different angles? I believe this is a term called chatoyant, and somebody should fact check me. But I love this look. And this is we call this the epic grain, which is a misnomer, on the raw natural shell. This is a sweet piece, especially with this hand stitching along the outside. This is a contrasting orange stitch. And we charge a bit more for the hand stitching, so I don't normally suggest it unless you love a very chunky, a little bit more of a casual vibe in the hand stitching. And here's where it gets out of control. This interior with these dye marks. And I'm not sure what, to be honest, I'm not sure what shells these were picked from specifically, but it kind of has the essence that we sometimes see in that psychedelic shell cordovan. And speaking of the psychedelic shell, I know that the tannery is still working on trials to reproduce that leather. Nataku says chatoyant. It's an adjective. Showing a band of bright reflected light caused by aligned inclusions in the stone. So yeah, maybe it's like from the rock world and not the wood world. But it's like, it's sort of chatoyant in my mind, if I'm understanding correctly, is like how a color will shift on different directions of light. Kind of like how I always talk about the shells have sort of a directionality to them. I call it a color shift. It's like this angle looks a little dark, but if I spin it around even, it gets lighter on this direction. So maybe that's chatoyancy. I'm trying to learn new words, I guess. But anyways, this kind of reminds me of the psychedelic shell on the inside. Again, the tannery's still working on that. I've never had more requests for a leather than we've seen on the psychedelic. So if they can do it again, that would be really nice. And the other interesting thing about this one, this stamp on the left, that white stamp that says Horween USA, 20 feet or 2.0 feet squared. So this came out of a shell that was 2 square feet. And this is what they call the measuring machine stamp. The part that's missing here is sometimes they'll include a date. In fact, they always include a date for when it was measured, but it looks like they got cut off in the pattern here in favor of including the Horween USA. So this is a special one for Michael. And hopefully you check this out, Michael. You got a really beautiful piece coming your way. And everything that's on the table we're shipping out today. So if you ordered one of these, it's probably your wallet. This is another one that I thought was absolutely beautiful, but this is a standard offering for us. Somebody was mentioning their keychain belt clip in English Tan Dublin. This is also English Tan Dublin, but on the Capone money clip. I actually recently switched away from using the Capone, trying out some other prototype wallets. But this was the most recent wallet that I was wearing, and I kind of missed this already. It holds so much. I just can't believe how much stuff this wallet holds without getting too crazy thick. And I think the secret is not too many layers of leather, especially stacked cards. You know, and not to criticize our own style here, but like the Johnny the Fox here, you've got 3 card slots stacked on top of a hidden card slot. So really, there's 4 compartments for cards that are all in one amount of surface area. So when you load up all your cards in there, it really puffs it up and gets thick. but the Capone can really suck up a lot of cards and still stay quite thin. So I kind of missed mine already, and I might as well show you. I was a little desperate. I kind of hated a prototype I was wearing, so I found this English Tan Herbie that I was wearing. I think maybe Matt was wearing this years ago. I just threw all my stuff in here, and I'm really happy with the Herbie. So the Herbie's still my favorite, but I've been really digging the Capone also. The thing about the Herbie is just like so easy to use, like to get your cash in and out of here. You don't have to mess around. And then this card layout on the inside, I like how they're all spread out. So you can put more cards in this guy and have a thinner wallet at the end of the day, because I like to wear my wallet in the back pocket and I want it a little thinner. And because you're spreading out those cards over more surface area, it tends to lay flatter. So I like the Herbie. And then English Tan Dublin, of course. I haven't worn this for more than a day here, so whoever wore this before put some nice wear on it, and it's beautiful. It looks like a nice piece of wood. Mohit says, does the Capone money clip come with the different metal clip options? The only option that we offer right now is this silver hardware here, which is sort of like a chrome plated solid brass, if I remember correctly. The Capone that I was wearing, looks like these are all silver here. Actually, no, here. This one actually has a black clip on it. I might be out of black clips. I can get it for you. We'll have to charge you a little bit more and have it ordered. I've done some gold clips as private stock items before. This is like a matte black. I like it. I'm hesitant to suggest it to you unless you want to pay a couple extra bucks. We can do it. It's just not something I have in stock, but I can order it. So there's 3 different color or metal options. Rock says the marble black Capone that was there, one that was bought today with the black Dublin Fat Herbie. I don't know. I think so. Yeah, I think this one is going with a Herbie. Where is that Herbie? Hey Matt, can you grab any of the other stuff that's shipping? Sometimes I just grab a selection of stuff that we're shipping out, so it might not be inclusive of everything. Is there a Dublin Herbie? Anyways, yeah, this English Tan Dublin is sweet. And it's sort of like a palate cleanser for me when you see some of the wild stuff, you know, like the blue with the sort of tan thread. Oh, Matt's bringing me more wallets. So this is a checkbook cover in English Tan Dublin, which is cool. These are sort of like a made to order custom thing. You kind of have to ask for it. We don't even advertise that we do it unless it shows up in a video like this. Here, it looks like these still need to get a little bit of edge finishing here, but this is an English Tan Dublin Fat Herbie, which is really beautiful. Like I said, we still have to wax and burnish all the edges here. Looks like this one's partially started, but that will ship out today. The other English Tan Dublin, Johnny the Fox, which is beautiful. And we have to use specifically thin horse hides for the inside of this wallet. Otherwise, you just get this chunky, thick wallet. So it's steer hide on the outside, which I think has a little bit of a clear, more consistent, nice character to it. Sometimes the horse hides can be a little bit more variable, a little bit more rugged. So we use them on the inside, and they're thinner. But this one's for BMW. By the way, everybody that's picked up a wallet supporting us, even just being here in the chat, I just appreciate you guys so much and just sharing all this leather with me. I mean, honestly, I'd probably have a lot of fun doing it by myself because I just love the leather. But it just makes it a little bit more special to share it with everybody. Looks like we have a raw natural shell Herbie here with a reverse. Oh, can you bring it a little closer, please? And we have a reverse natural interior, and I love this option. Somebody was just texting me from our website chat about a wallet just like this. If you love patina, this is about the best you could choose for a couple reasons. The raw natural shell on the outside develops an incredible patina. It gets darker and more golden brown, but because it's also raw, it's a little bit more of like a matte finish. It's not very bright and shiny. It's a little subtle luster, but when you wear this, it becomes very glassy, which is nice. And then the additional thing that I like about this particular piece is the interior having the reverse natural interior. I find that the reverse shell interiors, I find that these tend to wear in a little bit better as opposed to two pieces of shell on the inside. When this is closed and it sort of rubs together, your credit cards will stick out the leather and sort of scuff. The leather will scuff itself. But the reverse sides of the shell tend to be a little bit more easily filled in as opposed to shell on shell. So that's really cool. Looks like another Herbie here. Learned my lesson for not bringing over most everything we're shipping. This is also Dublin, and I love it. Black Dublin. Talking about in the Let's Buy Boots series about wanting more Black Dublin in the world, and it's for reasons like this. Oh, Michael Kedge, your wallet's right here. Color 8 shell for the interior. Yeah. So here's your Capone, Michael. And this is sweet, man. I actually turned on the camera for you today because I was so happy with this and the other Capones. So congrats. I can't wait for you to have it. And also, you've been a really huge supporter of us, Michael. I really appreciate you, man. But back to the Black Dublin here. I love this so much. And I feel like in the footwear world right now, a lot of people are going more towards this sort of aesthetic, a little bit more casual, a little bit more rugged. It's not like a tumbled, sort of pebbly, really broken up look. It still has a nice bit of refined look to it. I don't know how to put that, but it has a great look. I wish there was more boots in this Black Dublin. The only one that I could find recently, there was a special makeup, I believe, at Division Road through Viberg or something. And then the big player using this is Doc Martens. You can find some Black Dublin Docs around, but I just love the Black Dublin. I think it's the best black around. And right now, personally, I'm in the market for some black footwear. And I wish I could find this, and I can't. Crispy, sorry that my chat is way far away. I can barely read it. Crispy says, received my Field Notes cover. Absolutely love it. That's awesome. I'm glad that you picked up a Field Notes cover. That's another one in the same way that we have this checkbook cover. Another one that we don't really advertise that we do, but we can do it. I need to launch a passport holder because people are going to start traveling again. It'd be nice to do. Jim, good to see you, Jim. You made it. And Jim says, Anniversary Capone is polishing well. Angeli's is too, but the color 8 is mine. It's like glass. Nice. Oh, on yours is like glass. That's awesome, man. There's something about all this leather, having it age with you. That's sort of the reason we started making wallets in the first place. It's just really special. And this is a piece here too that probably gets overlooked from me at the moment. This is a one-shot card case, and what I've been trying to do on the one-shots is to put leathers that I've been collecting in there at a cheaper price point so you can experience it for yourself. You know, put some cards in here, drop in your pocket, see how a pit tan Chrome Excel horsehide will wear in, and that's what this is. This is tan Chrome Excel, but it's pit tanned. It's really dense, and you can find, I try to put up funky stuff on the one-shots, little different leathers, things that I like. And the idea is for you to be able to try them out without buying, you know, $125 Fat Herbie. You can spend $25 and try out something. To me, that's part of the fun. It's just seeing how the different stuff wears in and ages. So this one's going out today. Yeah, and somebody was into this key fob. And I often forget to put key fobs in because, you know, it's a key fob. It's not like super, super exciting. But we can do a lot. I think a lot of people pick up the key fobs to try out in the same way people try out leathers in the one shot. They'll try out leathers on the key fob to see what reverse color 8 shell looks like, which that's what this is. Nice little Horween ink stamp on the back. This is a small batch item that's going out today. One of my all-time favorite shell colors, color number 4. And I think we have a lot of wallets to keep track of. I think we only have a couple left of these in the small batch color 4. What I like about the color 4 is sometimes, at some angles, it looks like color 8. It's like a little bit more of a chill dark brown, or like reddish dark brown, burgundy dark brown. And then the color 4, you get some of these a little bit more caramel sorts of shades. It's definitely more of a medium brown with reddish undertones. And it has a little bit more of a dramatic color shift that I like. And the Bugs Moran has that perfect form factor that I like to talk about. It's about the size of a deck of cards. Which I think is perfect for a wallet. Looks like the other stuff I brought on the table here. We're shipping out all these today, which so I thought was a good opportunity to show some leather care products and explain, why you might use one or the other. So this is a bottle of the more recent packaging on Horween's Venetian shoe cream. So in the world, people sometimes just abbreviate this to VSC for Venetian shoe cream. And it's a very versatile polish. I like this a lot on Chromexcel. I like it on pretty much everything. And the tannery, Horween, has used this specific polish on every piece of shell cordovan that they make. So you can get a really bright, shiny luster with it. But I find it's a little bit less bright and shiny than the Saphir cordovan cream. So this is what we use in our shop. I find this Saphir product, again, this is cordovan cream from Saphir. This, I feel like it has a little bit more wax in it, and it will fill in scuffs and scratches a little bit better than the Venetian. And I find it also has a little bit more of a bright, shiny luster. So I like this for the shell. The Venetian's a little bit more versatile. And then this guy here, this is our product that we make. And this is a formulation that the tanner from Horween made for us, Chris Kolblinger. It looks a little bright. So Chris made this. I actually misspoke a while ago. He's an 8th generation leather tanner. And he made this formulation. It's lanolin based, but I find this to work really well once you wash any piece of leather, especially if you wash it with soap. Those soaps will pull out the nourishing oils that were tanned into the leather, and you need to replace them. Otherwise, the leather looks a little bit dried out and sort of cracky. That's what this is great for. The other thing that this is, I think, the absolute best for, the Tanner's Blend is really good for just Chromexcel. Like, even just polishing it, you can apply a very small amount of this, sort of fill it in with your finger even, and then just give it a nice brushing. It's almost like it breathes the life back into leather, so I love this. One of my favorite stories for this product, the Tanner's Blend, is we have had a few customers with antique leather furniture. So this one guy sent me a before and after photo of his ottoman, and it looked like trash before he put this on, and after it was done, it basically looked brand new, and it was this 80-year-old leather ottoman or something like that. So we have all that different these are the three shoe care or leather care products that we sell. Looks like we got another wallet dropped on me as I was talking about that. Check this out. Man, the dye splitter on this one's crazy. NH. So you got a natural shell Johnny the Fox with this crazy reverse interior. That's beautiful. Yeah, this is something like this, and you just experienced it. This is the first time I've seen this. This is why I get up in the morning, is when I get to come over here and look at all this beautiful stuff. It's just so nice. So we're very fortunate to be able to make these for you guys. And NH, you got a beautiful Johnny the Fox coming your way. So let me flip the camera around. I see you guys chatting. I'm having a hard time reading it because it's far away, but we'll get you. All right. How's that? Oh, Crispy, definitely using mine for the trip to Guatemala next month. My buddy at the tannery, he's sort of like the up and coming next generation tanner, Esteban. He's from Guatemala, and I actually need to talk to Esteban again, because we need to demystify some leather tanning information. We did a chat together over probably a year and a half ago about what the chemistry is behind leather tanning, and I promised to do a follow-up video about retanning, which is more complicated. So I need to do a chat with him. I am so far behind the chat here. The black Dublin is stealth. Maybe I'm like a little goth or something. I typically wear a lot of black, but I've been dying for some black footwear. I have nothing black. It's a little bit of a shame that I can't find something for myself. But Brett Klein in that Alden interview, he had brought up some chamois options. Speaking of which, did you guys check out the chamois video? Seemed like people were pretty interested in this, which is great. The chamois is cool, and I saw people wanting me to make some wallets out of it. I should try it. I'm a little worried. To me, this is like an ideal boot leather. It's like very oily and intense. It might be kind of nice to feel in your hand because it is so rich. Especially that reverse side. I think this is what people are into, is the that sort of like shimmery look on the reverse chamois. Yeah. And by the way, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, chamois instead of chamois. But I might pick up some of those chamois indie boots if that's coming. Oh, Nataki, you want a psychedelic shell key fob? Yeah, Skip. I keep in touch with Skip about those new development things. In fact, yesterday, Skip called me about another idea. He is still working on psychedelic shell, but Skip called me yesterday. He said, I started pulling out some shells that I thought were really special that I want for me. And this is me speaking for Skip, that Skip wanted to keep for himself. And he said he noticed on one of our videos where I was showing the wallet that we made for Skip out of a shell that he liked. He said, I noticed, somebody said, well, why does Skip get all the good stuff? Well, Skip called me yesterday. He said, I was sorting out through some Portavan, and I came across 8 shells that like I want to keep for myself. But then I remembered that comment on your video, and I'd like to offer them to me, Phil. So I'm going to take some Skip private stock, and we'll make some wallets out of that. Maybe we'll do that for our 10-year anniversary. But that was Skip's idea, and he's, like I said, he's still working on psychedelic shell. He's got a bunch of crazy ideas. Don't forget to talk about the Ashland cream. Yeah, I expounded on that a bit. And thank you for that reminder. It's a great product. I don't do a very great job of selling our Tanner's Blend, but we sell a lot of Tanner's Blend on Amazon. Buy it for me directly, please. It's probably cheaper for you and for me, or it's better for both of us. But that's a really, 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 really good product, and I am kind of chill about it. I should probably beat you over the head with how great Tanner's Blend is. I think at the end of the day, something like a watch strap here, like I ride a Peloton, I go running with this strap on, and it gets disgusting. So I'll wash it with soap and water. But using like just a little bit of that Tanner's Blend to nourish it back in, it's kind of like using conditioner in your hair or lotion on your hands after you wash your hands. It keeps it from getting dried out and chapped. I find that Tanner's Blend to be about the absolute best possible thing you could use on Chrome XL. It's amazing. In fact, Skip liked the Tanner's Blend so much, he almost switched the Venetian shoe cream to Tanner's Blend for all their polishing at the tannery. So it does give you some liveliness and have a really good feel, is why he liked it so much. We're kind of big on the hand feel for leather at the tannery. Herb. Herb says, Jeff just left Shoe Mart in Connecticut and saw your watch straps there. Yeah, Shoe Mart sells some of our wallets too. I like Shoe Mart a lot, and I've liked them for a long time. Isaiah says, in terms of personalization, is there a way I could get FCK CNCR on a wallet? Yeah, man, we can do that. I can put anything you want. We've had the guy do the Pulp Fiction Bad Motherfucker wallet. That's no problem. I think it's like a little played out for that specific example, but I can put whatever you want on it. Just hit me up. Chamois is correct, senor. Yeah, that's just how I had pronounced it when I was working with the leather. And sometimes I'll have get an interview with Aero Surfer LV, and I think he said chamois, and I felt bad like saying it in a different way. So it's this weird word where you have to like disclaim that you're not a jerk for saying it in a different way. I didn't want to sound like I was trying to correct him, but I think a lot of people say chamois. I think it's technically chamois. Nataku says Skip is a Horween. Yeah, he gets pretty nice. And Skip he'll incognito buy footwear from companies that buy his leather just to make sure they're doing the right thing. And he, as a consequence of that, he just has a ton of awesome shoes and stuff. Jim Weil says Skip's contribution to the 10th anniversary will be off the hook. I can tell you that in July you're going to be really happy just to like look at all the different stuff that we're going to be putting together for the 10-year. And I don't want to hype it up too early, but the 10-year celebration that we're going to do is I'm already super happy about. Marsos says, can you talk about machine stitching versus hand stitching? Yeah, we have an example here. So Michael, who's in the chat here, had this Capone made to order. And this has a orange hand stitch on it. It's a quite a bit more expensive just for the thread. But in the grand scheme of things, not the big differentiator. But the reason that this is a little bit that I don't promote hand stitching as much is because I got to charge more for it. And I think it, as far as functionally and for durability, they're both guaranteed forever. So I don't like to upcharge and just charge you the additional hand stitching charge unless you absolutely love this thicker thread look, and it's beautiful. It's really nice. So we charge more for that because it takes us about a half a day to hand stitch something. And this is guaranteed forever, as is this. So here's another Capone, but this one is machine stitched, and you might be able to see the stitching is a little bit more refined. It's a little cleaner, and the stitches itself, the thread thickness is much thinner. So you don't get this much as much of a bold, chunky thread look on these. I think it's a little bit more refined, but this is also guaranteed forever. So I only, like, again, I don't want to repeat myself too much. I only suggest the hand stitch from me if you want to pay an extra charge for the aesthetic only. Both of them are guaranteed forever. You just got to pay more money. So I try not to promote it because I don't want to take money unnecessarily. But that's a really good question, and I think it's kind of controversial. There are people that hand stitch in a very fine way, especially a lot of these Japanese makers. It's incredible work that they do, but you got to pay for that. I mean, it's twice the price we charge, and equally durable. Like I said, we guarantee them all forever. So if longevity is the concern, I would save your money. If you like the aesthetic, I would go for it. You can't get that same thread look on a machine. And the reason why is these machines that we use can only use a certain gauge of thread. You just can't go super thick on it. Rock says, hoping to see Skip Tall Tony vertical card holder for your private stock 10-year anniversary. Hint, hint. Yeah, I don't know if that exact one is going to be there. What we're trying to do is basically the 10-year anniversary. The idea is going to be to continue the theme of our private stock wallets in general that we've been doing for the last six months or so. We've been doing these private stock items, and the private stock has been designs that we've never done before, or combinations that we've never done before, leathers we've never seen before. And I collect the leathers from the tannery. So it's things that we're pulling that excite us at the shop, and then we're just going to make it into something new that we've never done before. And then the 10-year anniversary is going to be that on steroids. Like, we're going to pull some stuff that the tannery's been holding for a long time, or maybe it's things that the tannery's only done once and they're never going to do again. It's sort of a continuation on the private stock. So I'm going to launch it in July with a big drop of, 30, 40 things. And then every day I want to add more stuff, sort of unscheduled. And there's a lot that we've already started prepping. And they're all going to have a 10-year anniversary stamp on them. So I think the goal is to sort of celebrate the leather, celebrate Ashland being around for 10 years, sort of do what makes us special to the nth degree, to the 10th degree. So that's the hope. My crew says, need to nerd out on the leather. Yes. Question, purchased a black Dublin and saw what seemed like it wasn't dyed completely. Can you explain the dye process of black Dublin? Yeah. And if it doesn't look, I just happen to have a black Dublin piece here. You ought to see a continuous color through the cross section of the leather, even through all the different layers. So this piece here, oh my God, So it seems to be black all the way up and down, right? The white is the light reflecting off of it. If you don't see it like this everywhere, it's possible that the leather wasn't what we call struck through properly. So, great question on what the dyeing process is like. So here's some Chrome Excel. There's two general ways to impart color onto the leather. And one of the ways is in a drum. And that's in a process called a retanning, which is why I need to get Esteban to have a chat with me. So in the retanning process, think of a big washing machine. You put your leather inside, but then you could add dyes or other materials to that drum to penetrate through the substance of the leather, and it will change the color not just on the surface to black in this example, but it will dye all the fibers from the top to the bottom in that black color. If the dye doesn't penetrate all the way through, you will see black on the grain side, black in the flesh, and you might see like a stripe in the middle of a different color. That means that the dyes didn't fully penetrate all the way through the leather. That's not the best. In fact, if I got a wallet like that, I would probably send it back to me. So definitely send me a photo of it. So drum dyeing is one way to impart color onto the leather. The other way is in the finishing process. You can apply stains, like on this Chrome Excel here. This is natural Chrome Excel on one side, and then they sprayed or brushed on color onto the grain side here. So here's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like without any stain on it at all. Here's what it looks like with black on the grain. Here's what it looks like with brown on the grain. So you can apply multiple colors off of one crust color. In this case, the crust would be natural Chrome Excel, and then they stained black onto the grain. They do that same thing on the black Dublin. They'll drum dye it and then add some spray coats of color on the surface. There's no top coat or anything on that. It's just a color stain, and then they put a wax over the grain on the Dublin, and they iron it smooth. So this is what that looks like again. It's beautiful. But if you're seeing a cross section that's not black all the way through, and I told you it was black Dublin, it's probably not great. Probably not right. Send me a photo, Mike Cruz. My email address, if you don't have it, is phil@ashlandleather.com. Robert Kirkpatrick says, would a Herbie with a hidden card slot fit a passport? It fits. I actually just sent my passport back in to get renewed, so I don't have it here. But when you put a passport on top of this, it's almost like it fits like within the stitching of the Herbie. So you can, in fact, we did do a passport version of the Herbie where we left this flap. We didn't stitch right here. So this whole thing would sort of flap open. You can drop a passport in there. I've had customers before put their passport in the bill slot in the back. You can sort of drop it in there too. It will stick out, if you put it in the bill slot, it will stick out like a tiny bit over the top. So that's not ideal. It will fit inside of here. We have a passport field notes holder design that's a little bit more appropriate for a passport. I still use the way you're describing it. We call it a world traveler. It's like a fat Herbie with one of those card slots left open to fit a passport inside. That's what I travel with. But yeah, we can kind of do any of that. If it's a pattern we already have, we can modify it. So hopefully that helps. Hit me up, Mike Cruz, too. I'm interested to see what that leather looks like. And I got to run here. I don't even know how long it's been. It's been almost 45 minutes probably. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out the video today. These Capones were out of control. All 5 of them are really special. 4 of them are things I've never seen before. And then I appreciate you guys checking out the Let's Buy Boot series. I'd love to get some feedback on that. Everything I've ever done at Ashland, I sort of jump in the deep end and figure it out. And the only way I get better is from feedback. So anything that you're feeling like, hey, I wish you did this, or wish you did that, or wish you didn't do this, let me know. I want to do more of the boot shopping thing. I'm probably going to do some live streaming of me going on to all these sites and sort of analyzing each of the offerings that they have, with the hopes of buying one at the end of the shopping process. And then, like I said, I've got some more great news is that my buddy Nick Horween mentioned that he wants to join me for one of those videos, which is a really special treat because Nick tends to not want to be in the spotlight, especially recently. His reason is that he hates the sound of his voice. I think he's like overly conscious about it. But Nick has he's such great taste in footwear and clothing and things like that. And then the insight he has from growing up in a leather tannery, I think would be really cool to have Nick join me. So he said he wanted to do it. So we can look forward to that. Crispy, thanks for coming to hang out. You said you're beginning leatherwork. I absolutely love your designs and transparency. I'm glad you enjoy it. And if you got my email address, it's phil@ashlandleather.com. I'd love to see some of the stuff that you're making. All I'm about is just sharing leather with people, and I like when people share it with me too. So I'm glad that you're here to join me. Try to do some more content 2-3 times a week at least. So probably see you next time, Crispy. And everybody else, Mike Cruz, Rodrigo, Nataku, Jim, Marso, Rox, Isaiah, Waveland Avenue. It's good to see you guys. Thank you for hanging out. And until next time, I hope you have a good one and take